I would like to share something that happened recently, a story about shame. It made me think deeply. We normalize shame on a daily basis, and this takes us away from having a full human experience. If you are someone who wants to express their lives as fully as possible, attracting abundance into your own life, this video is for you. I had just finished using the public toilets. I wanted to go out, wash my hands. Someone else came in, used the same toilet that I used before. As I was going out, I heard the person's belt and trousers hit the ground. So I knew what he was about to do. It took me some time for me to wash my hands. Now, as I'm washing my hands or trying to wash my hands, and the time that it took me to actually wash, it took me like 3-4 minutes to actually finish washing my hands. I realized that this person inside this toilet who just came in is still sitting on the toilet seat, hasn't done anything. And in my mind, I realized that this person is actually waiting for me to leave so that he can start pooping. In my mind, I smiled because I knew that I did that sometimes before. Where does this shame come from? Where does this embarrassment to be a human being come from? When you eat, you don't hide. When you drive your car, when you are doing something with your family, you don't hide. Where does this act of shame, where does this embarrassment come from, that taking a poop is something that we should be ashamed of, we should be embarrassed of? Where does this disconnection experience, where does this really come from? I know that I'm not the first person who's ever felt shame for being themselves. Certainly, the stranger who was in the toilet is also not the only person in the world who's ever had to feel shame for being a human being. When was the last time you felt shame for being yourself? Who taught you directly or indirectly that certain parts of you were not okay? How did it feel when you had to suppress reactions that were natural to you? These are a few questions that I'm asking you to make reflections on your own life, on different moments where you have to feel shame for being yourself. I remembered my mom playing with my younger brother, around 1 year or 2 years old. He would run around, and at the time where he was supposed to be changed up, my mom would grab him and take him to a table where she was going to change him up. He would fart, he would poop, and my mom would sniff his behind, make a few jokey faces, and then my younger brother would just burst out laughing. Not knowing that he's supposed to be ashamed, not knowing that he's supposed to be embarrassed. Pure joy, pure innocence. What happened to us as human beings that we are afraid to express our authentic selves? Which other mammal in the world gets to hide when they get to express their authentic, true nature? What happened to us that we get to feel shame when we are just being ourselves? My younger brother doesn't know anything about masks. He knows nothing about social masks. What are parts of yourself that you've learned to hide from others? Do you ever feel like you are just performing who you are instead of just being? I mean, my God, who's benefiting from us living an inauthentic life? Here's one thing I've learned about shame. We are not born with it. We learn it. We become it. We absorb it. We actualize it. We express it. And the society tells us, this is not right. This is not correct. This is too much. This is embarrassing. This is not appropriate. And what happens over time? We hide our true feelings, hide our dreams, hide our own truth. Over time, what happens? We get to disconnect. Disconnect from who we truly are as human beings. I've written down a few questions that I think might be helpful to you for you to do a bit of self-introspection. The first one is, why do you think we are embarrassed about things that are completely human, like fear, crying, failure, or even bodily functions? How have you learned to forgive yourself for being human? What does being unapologetically yourself look like in your life right now? How would your life change if you lived with zero shame about being human? Those are a few questions that I thought I would give to you so that you can do a bit of self-introspection. Think about shame in your own life. How is it affecting you? How is it holding you back from becoming your true self? How is it holding you from expressing yourself as authentically as possible? How is it holding you from going after opportunities that you should be going after? How is shame holding you back from becoming your true self? And lastly, here's the takeaway. If a child can laugh at being human, maybe we can too. And maybe healing begins when we stop apologizing for being real. You don't have to act, you don't have to perform for you to be accepted. The message that I would like to leave you here today is, shame is an invisible wall between you and authenticity. Thank you for taking your time to watch this video. Subscribe, help us grow, and see you in the next video of Quantum Leap Growth.